History bygone present, the spy system in India during ancient times. Introduction and origin of Indian spy system during ancient times. The earliest records of spying come from the prehistoric period of Indian civilization, where knowledge has to be passed down from generation to generation in the oral tradition. Spy, also known as the second oldest profession of the world, find mention in Vedas also. The Rig Veda contain reference to spy being used by god Varuna. Even in the ancient epics like Ramayana and the Mahabharata, there are multiple references not only to spy but to an intact spy network that function as an organ of any state or country. Most of scholars mention the espionage system is as old as Rig Veda, right from initial dates. This art is developed in most sophisticated ways. Earlier, Vedic Aryan used to be organized into tribes rather than kingdoms. The chief of such tribe called Rajana. The main responsibility of the Rajan was to protect the tribe. He aided by several functionaries, including the Purohit priest, the Senani, army chief, Dutas, envoys, and spies. In the ancient Vedic period, spies used for many purposes. Rulers used spies to collect information about the policy and plans of neighboring tribes, so that the king or Rajana could protect himself from any invasion. Spy also used to know whether the government order implemented properly by the officials. They used to convey the information of every activity to the king or Rajana. The ancient period kings do not have modern days gadgets. So the spy were the only source of to obtain the several type of information. The spy system was a mechanism to ensure smooth and uninterrupted governance and a check on any unfriendly inclination and work to maintain and enforce the foreign policy. The spy not only deployed against enemies but also to strain the loyalty of citizen, royal official, and dignitaries. These spies are much different than diplomatic agents, as spying and diplomacy work together, and the duty and functions of spies and diplomat overlap and match sometime. In the post-epic literature, spies declare the eyes of the king. The Udyog Parva, book of efforts, referred from Mahabharata, suitably remarks that the cow see by smell, priest by knowledge, king by spies, and other men through eyes. The origin and development of secret agency in ancient India linked to the geographical condition of that time, when India was dotted with small states attempting to grab each other territories. Spying come to regarded as integral part of a capable administration, as it kept the ruler posted with the activities, infirmities, and political opponents. Also about their disloyal and disgruntled element. The espionage system, in other words, was the mechanism to ensure uninterrupted governance and a check on any inimical tendency. This spy network, moreover, worked to maintain and enforce the foreign policies. The spies developed not only against enemy within and outside, but also to strain the loyalty of citizens and the allegiance of high officials and dignitaries. The ancient Indian spy system developed and organized that till today it is a perennial source of inspiration and more useful base for the modern intelligence system. Before the Maurya Empire, the Indian subcontinent fragmented into hundreds of kingdoms that ruled by the powerful regional kings were engaged in warfare using their small armies. Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of Maurya Empire, after succeeding Magadha, started controlling their outskirt kingdoms. The Mauryan army, the largest standing military force of its time, supported the expansion and defense of his empire. His armed force included 6 lakh foot soldiers, 30,000 soldiers on horseback, and 9,000 war elephants, and a vast spy network collected intelligence for both internal and external security purposes. During Maurya period, the Secret Service Department became an internal feature and organized in the most immodest manner. Chandragupta Maurya made intensive use of spy system. The blueprint of espionage prepared by Chanakya has remained a model for successive generations. Various aspects of the organization of a secret agency, as discussed in complete details in the Arthashastra, briefly touched upon here. There were spies against the spies, and on important matter, more than one agent asked to collect informations. The king always kept information and about the working of bureaucracy. Ancient thinker Kautilya visualized a well-knitted system of spies. He laid the precise way in which a king has to be ruled. This including modes of administration, means of warfare, diplomatic strategies, and economic policies. The Arthashastra broadly described two types of spies: Santha stationary and Sanchara roaming spies. The stationary spies include false discipline, recluses, householder, and merchants. The wandering spies include student, criminal, and prisoners. Women recommended as spy in the wandering group. They deployed as beggar, nun, and courtesans. Even the armed forces aided by spies called God Purusha. Further structure included assassins and double agents. As per Arthashastra, there was no fixed source of recruitment of spies. After hiring, they put through a rigorous training in techniques of adopting disguise, changing appearance, science of signaling, secret writing, manipulating public, and creating rebellions in the enemies. Motivation of person to cater intelligence is directly proportionate to their weakness for sex and money. Beside desire of revenge of hunger of for power, here spy master's task was exploit their weaknesses. Chanakya was expert in selecting his target in other lands depending on their weaknesses and motivations. Encouragement of secret agent with money and honor considered as imperative necessity They used to pay big money, receiving extraordinary courtesies and favors. Spy system in ancient India required spies to work undercover to preserve secrecies. Chanakya institutionalized the art of working under the nifty covers. Most common disguises were those of assistant merchants, wandering musician, artist, cook, barber, bath attendant, deaf and dumb, eunuch, and prostitutes. Chanakya recommended the use of women as effective tool of spy system for those who were engaged in corruptions. Vishkanya, poison girl, used an assassiness against powerful enemies. During the time of ancient India, their blood and bloody fluid were probably poisonous to other humans, as mentioned in Arthashastra. The Veda and other epic describe the importance of Charya, spy. In ancient stories, whenever any threats occurs on Swargalok, Lord Indra informed by his intelligence network. Rishi Manu also described five classes of spies with their various guises. In his system, spies were responsible for the detection of crime, keeping watch over the conduct of officials, and determining the strength of a king and of his enemy. God Varun and other deities of the Vedic pantheon heavily depending on their secret agents. All ancient thinkers deliberate on the art of espionage, where Chanakya perfected the art and recommended the organization of secret agency in the most bizarre manner. Today's time, ancient India's spycraft is a thing of charisma rather than the routine government duties. Indian history illustrates that ancient India has great expertise in this secret art. The techniques and operational method adopted by them were highly advanced and can be useful emulate today. And on behalf of History Bygone, and thanks for viewing my views on spy system.